Good morning, Homesteaders.
Good morning.
It's a nice chilly, like 40 degrees out this morning when we first woke up, so.
High 40s.
It was 40 when I got up.
Oh, well, I get up a little bit later than him.
So fall is going to be here before we know it. And we need to get, what's the matter with you? We need to get our powerhouse room ready for our freezers. We store our Lion Energy Sanctuary solar system in here. These are our 3 inverters and then all of our battery systems. We did this right at the beginning when we built, so we would have power while we were building and we could run whatever we needed to run. So it's worked out really well having this all set up. So now we need to finish wiring this room. We're going to insulate it for sound deadening so we can't hear the freezers running or the inverters running out in the rest of the house. We were going to do sheetrock. We were thinking about that, but we're better off doing plywood or tongue and groove boards. Just that way we don't have to do all this sheetrock mud, sanding, getting all that dust going on. We don't want that in our inverters.
We probably had enough dust around them, so we don't want to put extra dust, and it's not going to be able to escape this room because it is in this room.
Right.
And the funny thing is, this is our first room we did, which was so exciting when we built this house.
See, we need to add a kneeler here. That's easy. But our freezers, I measured last night, the chest freezers are 65 inches. So if we leave a space from there, it'll go to here. 2
big chest freezers that we're keeping. Then we have a stand-up freezer. And then over here, I have hopes to have coat and shoe area. So that may not happen, but I'm really hoping for that to keep all that mess as much as we can out of the house. But you know, especially having a homestead and stuff, you have extra shoes and extra coats, and then where we the climate we're in, we have lots of extra stuff like that too. So I'm hoping to have like an area to keep that organized over here.
So just getting the measurements, we can do chest freezer. We either do the stand-up freezer here or the stand-up freezer here. Either way, it pretty much measures the same way. It's 35 inches this way and then 32 inches deep. So either way, it's going to pretty much take up the same amount of room on these walls. So just depending on how you want your door to open, we can either go here or here. Keep them over this way as much as possible, and they're going to come out to about here on the batteries. You know, so we'll leave a gap so they can get airflow. So we want to plan this, so if we need to put 4 freezers in, we can. When I say plan, I want to make sure I have enough outlets, so we can have outlets over here and one over here. We're hoping not to have another freezer over here. It just all depends on what we have for meat. So I just want to make sure I have it planned and laid out, so if we want to put an extra freezer in, we have the plugs and we're not trying to figure something out later on. So we need to run some plugs over on this side of the room, because that side of the room, luckily, is all done. I did that when we first wired up the powerhouse. So lights are done, those outlets are done. So now we're just gonna come over here, do these ones, and then get one for the outside. This is the hardest part, trying to plan all of the layout where we want our outlets and what we think all of the future use will be. We're just trying to make sure we have everything right. This is like also a utility room, so we want to make sure we have enough outlets for charging stuff. We need to have one for our Starlink internet, so we're going to add another breaker over on that side so that way they're not hooked up with the freezers, because we don't want to be breaking any of our, or we don't want to be tripping any of our breakers for the freezers and not knowing it. So we want to make sure that they are on their own. We're gonna get the wire over the door. Alright, so this one will be for freezers. haven't had to do this for a while. I didn't miss it. It's just gonna be a mess. Remember all this mess?
How could I forget it?
Your favorite.
Man, glitter. Almost. There it is.
So close. There
we go.
Perfect.
Creep.
So I just heard back from the lumber yard. We're going to be going with 3/4 inch tongue and groove. It's actually cheaper to do the tongue and groove than it is to do plywood. So we're going to do the tongue and groove in here so we can space our box accordingly.
Is that just for a marker?
Just, yes, we need to know how thick we need to keep our outlet boxes out.
Nice. Good idea. You're always thinking.
I'm trying. All right, now we can run our wires this way for our accessory plugs. Should smell good. Hands are stuck. Oh my gosh.
It reminds me of a fruit roll-up or something.
Right. I didn't even think of that, but you're right.
Well, I mean, I hope fruit roll-ups don't stick that good.
I'm glad they don't. I figure since we have it, we might as well use it. All right, we got all of our rough wiring done. We're just gonna pick up a little bit and then we can start insulating these walls. So I'm excited to get this room done. It'll feel good having the utility room done. I think one of the big things is we need to have this room all done and set up before we can move up here, because we need a place to keep all of our food.
It'd be good to get it insulated because that's the step we need to before we get the walls done, but it's also going to get that insulation that we've been having sit out there that's taking up space, because we've been waiting to come in here and get that up on the walls and out of that space. So that would be really nice to have because it takes up quite a bit of room. Now what are you doing?
That should be the last nailer we need. That'll go like that. I think that's the last nailer we need. Yeah, that should do it. Now we can start insulating.
Almost like open up the mattress.
Almost. So this is the Roxwell sound deadening insulation. This isn't insulating for heat purposes or anything. This is just to keep the noise from the inverters and all the freezers running out from the living part of the house. That'll work. Not the prettiest, but when we put that first board up, that'll hold this all up against. We have our other rafters coming down. We have our roof rafters coming down. That's what's pushing these down a little bit. So when we get our first piece of pine board up, it'll hold it all in place. Right now we don't have any strapping to hold it in place like you would if you were sheetrocking your ceiling. Good morning. I picked up the shiplap, and this is supposed to be enough to do that room. I figured I need 520 square feet, and they converted the square feet to board feet. So this is supposed to be enough. I'm a little skeptical. We're going to find out, I guess. Once we get going, we'll figure it out. I know we'll have enough at least to get the ceiling and hopefully at least 2 of the walls done. So more than that, I don't know. We're going to find out. I think once we get our system figured out, it'll end up going really well. It just takes a bit. All right, let's give it a try. Now we just gotta get them in.
Who put that hallway there?
How's that fit?
It's good. Do you have like a little bit like this for where like this is?
Yeah, that's okay. My side does too. The other wall's gonna go up and cover it.
Yep. We are really liking it so far. It's going up pretty easy. I shouldn't say that out loud, but
We gotta notch this next board. Bummer.
bummer.
it. Oh. There's something in the eyeball.
Sure, I can.
That should get us really close.
Now another obstacle.
Yes. This one's not as bad though. That's just a little wee sliver. That's no fun. Nice. That finishes the ceiling, the worst part in my opinion. That's right, we get to go to the walls now.
Hey, when did you do that one?
When you weren't looking. find out, see how we did.
Pretty close. Speaking of trim, when we do trim out these windows, I want to have something on the base of the bottom part of the windows. That way that is like water protected. So like if I want to put herbs or any kind of flowers or any plants like that on those windowsills, I also want it bumped out enough so it can be like a shelf like that. So if you have any ideas, we have a few, but if you have anything that you've done or you've seen, let us know.
We had to run to urgent care. I'd gotten something in my eye. I thought it was a piece of sawdust, but now we're thinking it was a piece of insulation. We got it out, I scratched the eye. So we're gonna just go back up to the property and put up one more board. Maybe a few more, but we're supposed to lay low today with we're supposed to lay low the rest of the day with the eye, but I can't see me doing that. We gotta run this through the table saw and take this back lip off so we can get it in place. And then we'll rip it down to the width we need it. So I did a 10-degree back bevel when I was cutting the top, so this way I could push this up nice and tight, and I didn't have to worry about the back of the board hitting first.
This grill ladder has come in handy so much in this project, so I just want to say thank you again, Linda, for getting us this, because we wouldn't have gotten it. And it also works great for a stool or a little table.
All right, now that we got those back on, this is where we're gonna have to end it for the day. I was hoping to get some more done, but I think I should go home and let my eye rest up and put the cream on it like they told me I should do. Sometimes I can be a little stubborn and boneheaded and want to get done what I have in my mind, but we got a lot done. I'll have to finish up the rest in the morning.